I stopped driving a little bit early tonight because I'm getting close to Dallas and I don't want to go through Dallas when I'm tired. So I will start first thing in the morning and get through Dallas and continue my way on my road trip. But I wanted to talk to you. It's kind of a follow up from my last video because we were talking about conversations and serendipity. And this morning, I went downstairs to have my breakfast before I started on the road again. And I got into this nice conversation with a gentleman who picked up metal for a living. And he was telling me that he had gotten out of prison. He had been 20 years in prison. And from then on, he has kept himself, he's been self supporting and kept himself busy and has been leading a very happy, responsible life. And we talked about so many interesting things, such as cursive not being taught in the elementary schools anymore, and learning how to forage for food. And there were so many interesting conversations that we had. But in the middle of it, I had mentioned that we were talking about some kind of weather, and I had mentioned that I left my home state, which had been going through an ice storm. And the woman who took care of the kitchen came out right away and she said, "Excuse me," she said, "can you tell me where you're from?" And I told her. And just like yesterday, uh, it's serendipity. This woman actually was born and raised not too far from where I currently live. And she was so excited to be able to talk to someone from home. And we chatted about ice and snow. And the gentleman who uh, I had been speaking to was from Florida. And he was asking questions about living in ice and dealing with ice and snow because he had no idea what that was all about. So they were super interesting, fun conversations with two completely different people, and within the space of 10 minutes. And after they left, another gentleman came in, a young gentleman, and walked past me and then came back and said, "Good morning." And I answered, and we got into a conversation over everything again: weather, breakfast, current affairs. And he told me that he was there with his fiance who had just lost her father, and they were on their way to the memorial for her father. And he showed me a picture of his young son. And then we talked about death and what that entails, and how we're all here for 100 years, more or less, and what we have to do to make sure that we find our purpose and live in a loving way. So that's how I ended my breakfast. I had wonderful, wonderful conversations with complete strangers who are now not complete strangers because we're forever entangled, forever connected. And I've spent, I think, about 7 hours on the road and decided that it was probably time to find a place. When I did, I had another nice conversation with a young man at the front desk, and he was concerned about my getting a good night's sleep, and he ended up upgrading me to a lovely suite, which was so nice for someone to be so thoughtful. So my day was filled with beautiful people. It was just a really fun day with a lot of quiet driving time as well. So I'm going to say goodnight, and I will make it a point to come back tomorrow evening. I should be in New Mexico at that point, somewhere around that, hopefully. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. You have a wonderful day, a magical day, and I will talk to you soon. This is Rosie from Always Rosie's Life. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to hang around. Bye.